So another one this month with dampness in the subfloor void causing internal damp.
Damp surveys. The only way to stop damp is to trace water to its source.
So again, there's high subfloor relative humidity, which would explain why you're getting the rising damp-like features on internal walls. You're not getting it on external walls because it's been damp-proofed. Damp-proofing hides the problem, it doesn't deal with the root cause. I understand your neighbours also had a similar issue. We couldn't test to see whether you had a leak because the stopcock, there was a problem with the stopcock on the outside. So the leak can either come from yourselves or from the neighbours. Either one is going to have an impact on the other. I think it's a mains water leak, but obviously it could be a drainage leak. But typically the drainage system won't actually run in underneath the property, so it's more likely to be a mains water leak. It could be a downpipe on the outside. I don't believe so. But completely separate from that, you've got a mold issue, and where you've got mold, you've got high internal vapor levels from insufficient ventilation. You had it downstairs, but actually in the kitchen, the upstairs room above the kitchen, and there was insufficient kitchen extractor fan ventilation. Bathroom ventilation wasn't good, and I think it's probably a worthwhile investment sorting those things out, but you can reduce the amount of vapor quite dramatically by closing doors, by keeping the bathroom extractor fan running for as long as possible, by cooking with tops on pots and pans. Be very conscientious about that. And personally, I think everyone should have a dehumidifier, at least one in their property, a 20 litre plus dehumidifier. I'd choose 20 litres because that seems to be the sweet spot between function and not too big and noisy. Those are the problems. I've measured 30 litre extraction rate dehumidifiers, and then actually not any better than the 20 litre one. So that's, I think, the sweet spot. Visit your neighbours, find out what happened. I believe they had theirs damp proofed, and again, that's just going to hide the problem, not solve it out. I would recommend that they listen to this survey, look at the email and details that I've sent you separately, and I also think I'm going to send out another video after this. But you can see there's a lot of properties this month. Almost half the properties this month had high vapor in the subfloor void because of a leak or similar. Have a listen to the data loggers. So here are the data loggers. It's preloaded, but you just need to pop in your data there. So the temperature in where the dampness was in the centre of the room by the chimney breast was 11.8, and by the wall where there was a bit of mould was 9.6. So let's just feed those numbers in, and you'll see the difference. 11.8. Was where the area that you were concerned about in the centre, and while it does, so this green line is the surface relative humidity, the blue line is the dew point, which is a measure of the amount of vapour in air, and this line here is the dew point differential, and it tells me where vapour is coming from. So a lot of the time it's higher in the kitchen area. Sorry, start again. A lot of the time it's higher in the living room area because vapour is feeding from the rest of the property, perhaps from drying clothes. But quite a lot of the time it's high in the kitchen, presumably from cooking and or the bathroom. So what you'll see is that in an area like that living room where you've got the same amount of vapor, because there's got vapor moves through diffusion, so there isn't going to be a huge difference in one room. So where here we got the surface relative humidity around the damp wall that I'm saying is caused by a leak in the subfloor void, be it from your side or your neighbour's side, but there's high vapour in the subfloor void. What happens is you get condensation above the damp-proof cores, which causes rising damp-like symptoms. It can't go down, so it has to go up. It's absorbed upwards in all directions. Some people call that capillary action, but it's all liquids do it. So if we look at the temperature at the time of the survey, it was 11.8 in that zone, but 9.6 in the cupboard area. So if we update that, sorry, not the cupboard, by the outside wall, do you see here we're in the mold risk zone more or less the whole time, and we're hitting the condensation, the point of condensation where the relative humidity is hitting 100%, and the dew point is the same, but the temperature of the wall is lower, and what happens is if the dew point goes above the outside temperature, you get a lot of condensation. So although it shows 100% there, it's actually more vapor is coming out. So now let's have a look upstairs at the back bedroom, and this time we'll compare it to the dining room and update it. And the temperature was, I believe the temperature was 12.4. Temperature was 12.4, and again I'll put it to 8 o'clock, 8 a.m. and update the graph, and you can see, well, actually here it's outside the mold risk zone, so that's because it was warmer. Let's just double check that. Oh no, yeah, 12.7. So there's obviously a risk of penetrating damp. That wall was substantially, you had penetrating damp there. So in summary, you absolutely need to identify the source of vapour in the subfloor void, and I believe that it's probably mains water, either yourselves or your neighbour. You also have to sort out the internal vapour levels by, as a minimum, reducing the amount of vapour produced, keeping doors closed, cooking with tops and pots and pans, and running the bathroom extractor fan. But also I would get yourselves a dehumidifier, especially as you're drying clothes internally. And there's a little one on their way, so there is a big vapour impact when a young child is born. And don't make the mistake of closing all the windows. Keep the windows open. Children will acclimatise. A property with normal or low levels of relative humidity, of vapour, will feel warmer than the equivalent damp property. So a baby will thank you for keeping the windows open.
Damp surveys. The only way to stop damp is to trace water to its source.